Well,
it's just hard. It's hard to meet to see something where there's such a need and then to not want to fulfill it. And that's what I implore about everybody who's watching the channel here, is to just be generous. Take a step and donate a little, donate a lot. Get behind some of these people that are out there doing this. It's there's so much, guys. There's so much need on this island right now, and in order for us to be able to meet the next 5 families, we need people to be generous, and we need it soon. We need it now, right? Like so. Again, you're right. Help's coming. FEMA will get here
eventually.
But that's the distant future for us, right? Like, I mean, 3 days, 5 days, 10 days. That's too long. Yeah. We want to help people today.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are here today with Yami Abreu of Posadas, and we're just going to have a conversation about relief efforts for Hurricane Fiona and everything that Yami has been doing, which she is amazing. She's been doing great things. I'm going to ask her some questions and let her explain to you guys what Posadas has shifted to since Hurricane Fiona. And then later on, she's going to bring in a family that she has been able to identify and help. And so you'll get to hear from them as well. And just wanted to say thank you for everything that you're doing. You are really, really an inspiration. It's so nice to see someone just take this by the horns and go for it and put yourself out there and do everything that you're doing to help people. It's really inspiring. So
thank you.
You want to say hi to the camera and let's talk about how you've shifted Posadas from what it was to what it is right now.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me this platform to share my voice and my story and how we've been able to shift everything that we're doing as a company to serve the community in a better way throughout the storm that we faced. It's been 2 weeks since Hurricane Fiona passed through Puerto Rico, and in the first 10 days, I think we saw that there was, just their demeanors, the stress that we were under as a people. It was hard. Yeah. It was hard for me. I didn't have power for 10 days.
Do you have power finally back?
I finally have power.
Okay. Do you know how much of the island still is without power? I think the last time I saw it was still around 50% of the island didn't have power.
Yeah, so. Like 3 days ago when I checked it last, it was close to a little more than 500,000 people that still didn't have power.
Wow.
That's a lot of people if you think about how our backup systems work in hurricanes, right? Like we have generators, we have cisterns, but then you have to fuel the generator. And for a family that's like, living check to check, that's extra money that I've heard from, that complaint. Like I can't even afford to keep my generator on long enough, and my cistern only works if my generator is on. Now imagine being stuck in that situation. Yeah. Imagine not having the option to just go and stay at another property or to pay whatever it takes to keep your generator on 24/7. Right. What do you do in that case?
Or having small children that don't understand why the lights won't come on and why the AC is not working.
Why they can't watch YouTube.
It's really stressful, like you said. Yeah. We saw that the other day when we went to pick up this family down in the south, and I rode with you, and we grabbed them out of their family's home. The home that they were staying in, the roof got ripped off. Right. And so then they're staying with their in-laws, basically.
Godmother.
A godmother. Yeah. And no power, 2 little children. Everybody now in a much smaller place because they were in 2 houses and they had to go down to 1. Right. And just saw the stress.
On their face.
Yeah. So I can see it. I'm excited to have you get to sit down and talk with them and hear how it's gone for them now. I think there are 3 or 4 nights here in San Juan where they do have power and hot water and can cook a meal and can go on the internet. The kids are happy.
Yeah.
So I've spoken to them recently, and
You can
their
see
demeanor
it.
is different.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice for the people to see. I think it's important for people to see where their generosity
It's going.
goes and how it affects people. So do you want to talk about that? It's just, what's the program? How do people participate in it? And what's the response been like?
Right. So what we've set up is, in essence, a bridge between the vacation rental properties that are listed on the Posadas Puerto Rico website and the people that are going through hardship right now due to the hurricane. So whether it's that they've lost their house or they've lost power and water for a number of days and they're under stress, they're under duress. And so we're identifying them and offering them an escape from that, even if it's temporary, to help them deal with those mental hurdles, right? I think I want to just bring it back to this statistic that really struck a chord with me the other day when I was doing some research on the aftermath of Hurricane Maria and how it affected the island. I found that the suicide rate rose in the 5 months after Maria by 29%. And of course, we can't say it was Hurricane Maria.
Right.
But
that was what was going on. It's hard to put the blame on something else.
Exactly.
And during that time, the entire 5 months, lots of the island didn't have power.
Right.
Can't even imagine I get stressed out after a day or two.
Yeah.
So I couldn't imagine living day after day for 5-6 months.
Yeah.
Woof.
And if you think about it, the effects of having no power, it affects the tourism industry.
Mm-hmm.
It affects the restaurant industry, as a whole.
Yeah.
These workers, if their place of business has no power, then now they're out of a job temporarily. And a lot of Puerto Rico lives check to check. Do we know how much of Puerto Rico lives off of welfare? Because
a large portion, right? So there's sort of this sub economy that's a cash economy, and there is a great amount of people that are living on government assistance, and without it, they really struggle to put food on the table.
Right.
So, I hope that our grid here will start to be looked at. Puerto Rico's more in the spotlight of the world right now than I think ever before. Having 2 big storms with a devastating impact in less than a 5-year period of time should mean that there's going to be some major changes that come. Yeah. It's apparent that our power grid wasn't ready for this storm. No. And we just pray that now we've got President Biden coming, I think day after tomorrow, and hopefully there's going to be some positive change, and that the government will finally step in and push that agenda of a secure grid, at least, and fix some roads and things like that. And it was starting to happen at the end of coming up on 5 years to Maria, but clearly more needs to be done.
Yeah, and I think everyone knows that the government will come through with help. The issue is when.
Yeah.
How soon.
Yeah.
And so when this all happened, we were reactive from the moment it happened. The next day we were, who do we need to help? What do we do?
Right.
And Posadas particularly did try to put some work into where we were founded, which is at Arecibo. And realizing there was a neighborhood there that had been flooded and all of the residents had lost all of their things.
Yeah.
Right. And so we went boots on the ground and we tried to help just with cleanup. And everyone's sentiment in that moment was help is coming. But 2 weeks later, they're still waiting.
Help's still coming.
Right. So we had to be the help.
Yeah.
Right. To bridge that gap during the time while we wait for the actual.
And you've done an amazing job of being that help. And I want to thank the people who watch our channel because they've been very generous.
Yes.
And it's amazing to see how quickly the generosity started.
Yep.
And so we just are blessed by you guys out there watching the videos. And we encourage generosity here. And you're going to have a chance to meet a family with Yami here that you're going to directly see the impact of your generosity. So, and I hope to encourage you to continue to be generous, because even though help is coming, it is fast-acting, generous people that are going to bridge the gap, that are going to allow you to do what you do.
Right.
And I know you're just, you hear about a need, you start calling people and saying, hey, I've got a family, who's got a spot? That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how many families do you expect are out there that still need your service?
So it's interesting you should ask that, because what I've found, right, we've been able to help a total of 5 families so far.
Okay.
And every person counts. What I found is that the Puerto Rican person is very resilient, right? And we're used to going through these hard times, to the point where I've ran into a family that I literally had to say, no, this is not okay. I am putting you in an apartment today. The gentleman was sleeping on the floor. And he was like, it's okay, I'm fine.
Yeah, they're tough, right?
We're tough cookies.
Yeah.
But I think it takes, people like us recognizing that the human condition is important.
Yeah.
And telling someone that you are dignified and you should have a better human condition, and actually setting up that structure for them is important. And so that's what we've been doing, is trying to identify people that actually do need the help, and saying, hey, it's here and it doesn't cost you anything. There's generous people out there that actually care about the conditions that you're living in, and coaxing them into that help. Right?
I think that's an amazing heart you have, that you can look and see a need and sort of push someone that's wanting to be strong and be tough, and say, no, give it to the next person.
Right.
Give it to the next person. Hey, you're the next person that I can help.
It's your turn to
Let
be
me
blessed.
help you, because you're in front of me and I can help you.
Right.
I just love that about your heart, and that your willingness to go out there and meet people in their need. I think it's really awesome.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's something I've seen in PR consultants, and you and the whole team.
I appreciate that. We do try to meet the need when we see it, right? Like it's hard to see it and then not want to be generous.
And I want to mention that the program that Posadas has put together is also open to first responders that maybe find themselves in areas where they're trying to help the community. And if the community doesn't want to move, I've heard of stories of people that are picking up coffee in Adjuntas and having to drive every day from San Juan to Adjuntas, and they're committed on that plight of helping these farmers. But is that really fair?
Then maybe they need a place to stay.
Exactly.
You could bridge that.
Exactly.
Interesting. Also, I guess we should invite people that are in contact with people around the island who have a need to reach out to us. Reach out to PR consultants or Posadas, and let us see if there's a way that we can come alongside and help.
Absolutely. You can consider us bridges to whatever people need, even if it's not related to the program. If there's a need that you see, let us know.
Yeah.
Because we more than likely know of someone that can help if it's not us. Right.
That's great.
Well, thank you, everyone, for your generosity and your time.
Yeah, guys, I encourage you to go to the link below and be very generous with Posadas. How much money are you trying to raise for this initiative?
Our initial goal for fundraising was $100,000.
Okay.
And so far we've gotten close to $13,000.
Okay. So you're
Which has
13% of the way there, and it's only been less than a week. So, guys, I implore you to be generous, help out. If you know anybody who needs the services that Posadas is providing, so if you've got friends or family somewhere probably on the southwest side of the island that are in an area that still doesn't have power and probably won't have power for a while, reach out to us. Let's see if we can get them somewhere
Situated.
with power and water,
And
warm
come
water,
up.
nice place to cook a meal.
Yeah, it's
So-
important. These little things, they make all the difference
Yeah.
in a person's like long-term mental health and ability to continue to move forward in life.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you guys for watching. God bless. Share this video everywhere for us.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Yami Abreu. If you were affected by Hurricane Fiona and find yourself in need of a place to stay for a few days, please contact us on the link below or on posadasportorico.com.